Alright, looks like we're recording with extra quarter via my smartphone. My laptop does happen to be in the pawn shop right now because, well, I elected to get more supplies instead of keeping technology that probably is going to be useful to me here very shortly. Especially considering what, thank you, Tony, by the way. This is a good friend of mine, fellow Marine, actually, with connections to certain people in West Virginia. He shared this with me very recently, actually just a few moments ago here, close to 1 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time, down here in the Deep State Chronicle studio, or what is now being called Retribution CIC, Combat Information Center, in lieu of the situation we're in. I have effectively turned this into my Emergency Operations Center. What I have for everyone tonight is some really gnarly, scary news. What I have up here is obviously I have the message window open up so everyone can see the photographs that have been sent me. That's an M1A1 Abrams tank, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm a little unnerved by this. I'm a little confused. We've all seen the MRAPs and the up-armored Humvee convoys via train that have been moved through the country, and seeing those vehicles makes sense. Seeing those vehicles would be practical when you consider the implementation of lockdowns for. Excuse me, the oak pollen's been a little excessive lately. I haven't been going outside without my respirator, which has been a huge help, but I've been still a little congested. I apologize for that. Getting back to my point, it's simply impractical. It is simply not very effective to employ the use of heavy armored tanks such as this in an urban setting. Any urban setting, really, quite frankly. You just simply would not deploy tanks like this on a massive scale into a city. You would use no more than like 2 or 3 tanks actually at a time to support an infantry unit as they moved through a city. This is a ton of Abrams being moved at once, and as well, see if I can't pull that up. There we go. These are Bradleys. These are Bradley warfighting vehicles. They have the upguns weapon stations on them. They're not amphibious like the AAV P7A1s that the Marine Corps has. But it looks like further back in this convoy. I can't really tell. It's a little blurry here. But those look like they could be Humvees or MRAPs. But this is most definitely an M1A1 Abrams tank. It looks like it's even been given the Ram RS suspension on it. So this is a rebuild standard. Pretty new, even though it doesn't look very new, tank. Obviously put into its transport setting with the turret rolled around to the back. But that is an Abrams, no shit, heavy, cadmium, radioactive, depleted, armored tank. And this is being moved through West Virginia. I'm being told today, this afternoon, this was happening. And I actually got word of this not 10 minutes ago through my friend Tony, who, again, has connections to certain people in West Virginia who are happy to share this. All I wanted to do was share this information showing that these tanks are being moved, and as well my theory that I postulated as to why. Of course, I'm imagining everyone but my twin flame will actually see the last video I posted here, but regardless, here's exactly my point. In my last video, which was directed at a specific person, I warned someone that the virus and the martial law are the beginning of our problems. What follows subsequently after that will be not only famine, but probably also we will be looking forward to an invasion of Chinese and as well Russian forces on our mainland here in the United States. The release of this virus was deliberate. I believe, personally, in my honest opinion, according to sources that I happen to have in contact with, one being in the Pentagon and another being a critical skills operator doing work that is so sensitive that I will not share it here on this channel. I've been informed that there is a high risk and a high likelihood that this is actually the fulfillment of that agenda from the, as you who are watching this channel, you will remember a video, many of you in my audience will remember a video titled Art of War, Is the South China Sea a Feint?, in which I covered Comrade Xiaoping, or the Chinese Defense Secretary's speech regarding this subject matter, in which they first said they were going to spend time researching and developing biological weapons, deploying those biological weapons as a softening blow against the United States, in which their follow-up would be the invasion and the subsequent attempt to colonize the United States. I believe this would have to be about 6 months to a year from now. This behavior right here, the mobilization of heavy armored tanks. These are not your regular MRAPs and your regular Humvees that would in fact be far more practical to use in an urban environment, especially our very major and large cities. So there it is. I've given you these photographs. I've let you kind of look at this, see what I've got. Thank you again, Tony, for sharing this with us. Also check out Mike's channel, Evolutionary Energy Arts. I made sure he also has these photos. He should be covering what I've given to him in regards to these two photos as well. And look, folks, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm pretty tired. I just got out of the field about 2 hours ago. St. Pete's looking worse and worse. It's not total hell yet. The food supply is dwindling now, and as well the water supply. I'm not talking about running water, obviously, but the water's going off the shelves. There is no toilet paper at any of the stores I've been to. All the toilet paper is, in fact, gone. It's taken a little time, but the shelf-stable food supplies are starting to dwindle as well, and there's barely being any water kept in these stores as well. In fact, Aldi's, as of last week, imposed restrictions on their water sales, allowing customers to take or buy no more than 2 jugs or 2 cases of water at a time. I'm going again out into the field tomorrow, but my mission is going to be a little different tomorrow. It's going to be kind of training and as well consolidating equipment and resources into my area so that myself and my team, I do have a team behind me right now, can have adequate and sufficient means to bug out when the time comes. I've been thinking I'm going to hole up in the city. I am looking at the bizarre attitudes and behaviors going around the city and as well everywhere else, and the certain things that are actually probably going to go down here, and I'm thinking I might need to not be around here actually. So each and every one of you see this. I hope you guys are doing okay. I hope you're doing really well. I hope you're staying safe, getting prepared. There will be more to follow after this. I have not been on the air as much. Again, I apologize, but I have devoted my whole sole focus to being in the field, specifically in my area of operation, and getting a real handle on the operational tempo here so that I can be adequately and sufficiently moved into position myself before our government moves into position on us. Believe me when I tell you, you prefer to be the former, not the latter. Everyone have a good morning. Gray Eagle out.